Yeah,
I've seen that. Yeah.
I'll make this conversation part of the recording,
Yeah.
so that if someone goes through it, they will understand the importance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had one instructor. He was in Google, so he was teaching us DSA, right? And
Yeah.
he initially joined as an SD, but he was working on the basics of cloud on the Google in the GCP's core in the internals part, and it was extensively based on coding and this DSA part. So if we want to dive deep into the core concepts, na, DSA is actually important, and there are many people who are in SRE who just got the job in SRE, and they are now struggling only with the DSA part because they cannot understand the code, how the code runs, how things go. If we just want to be on the layer on the top surface of cloud and DevOps, then it's not much of an issue. Then yeah, not much of an code is needed. It's not like code is very important, but yeah, if you want to be if you want to get inside more deeper into it, if you want more scope, if you want to learn more, then definitely DSA is very important. Be it DevOps, be it SRE, it's actually important.
Yeah. True.
All right. Uh, Let me uh, I'll just try one thing because, mm, okay, so this is happening. Okay, got it. All right. So recording is done. Still, let me make an intimation if Gautam is joining or not, because he seemed. All right, I have sent it. If he joins, we can we can just give him an overview. That's fine. All right, let's start. Okay, my screen is visible, right?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, you can see my this thing collab. Right?
Yeah. It's on
Okay,
control statements right now.
it's in control
Your
statements. Yeah,
cursor. Yeah.
yeah. So control statements are basically how and where the code flows. If we just have an overview of it, like how it goes, how the code will move, right? So it's not that the code will only run yeah, it will definitely run one step by one step, but there are certain conditions according to which the code will flow, and those conditions are basically called control statements. Now let's suppose we are going to a certain destination, right? And there will be various diversions, right? Now, let's suppose we reach one diversion, and there we have to decide whether we have to take left, whether we have to take right, right? Those kind of decisions we have to make. Now, if that's an intuition, or that's the kind of routing that we know either through Google Map or either we have been in that route, so we will know, okay, we have to take left because our destination is on the left. But how do we do this in code, right? So we do this in code using control statements like if condition, else condition, if else, elif. So those kind of things help us make the code flow in a certain direction, how we want, right? So the main agenda and the topics would definitely would be the this is what the control statement, then the flow chart. So flow chart diagrams, if we let's suppose we I believe I won't say I believe. If we have gone through CSE, or we had the computer science in our 9 or 10, 10th class or 11, 12, so we might have come across, we have actually come across flowcharts, right? Like we can see visually how the code flows, where the code goes, right? So
Yes.
another thing is syntax of the if statements, if conditions. So index in Python is sorry indentation and syntax in Python is very very important. As we have already seen, Python has a certain syntax and it is very very indentation sensitive. So we have to take care of indentation. And next is if block, and there are three blocks, three control statements types. One is if, one is if else, one is elif, right? So let's move into it. So there are main three types of control statements: if, elif, if else, and elif. So that it helps the computer make some decisions based on the specific conditions. That's what, right? So whatever the condition we define, according to those conditions, the computer will make the decisions, and according to that, the code will flow. Now, what is a flowchart? So, flowchart is a visualization which represents the entire decision making process, like how the code will go. We can look at it as a visual in a visualization form, and it determines what should be done based on the conditions, right? So, let me try to just show one. So, I will say, what do we wear, right? So now we will tell me one thing. We You can unmute and we can be very very. We can just talk among ourselves and we can be very like interactive among each other, and then we can move forward. You don't need to mute the phone because you are only there, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
let's suppose we want to wear something, right? If we
Yeah.
want to wear something, what is the basic criteria of wearing any kind of trouser, any kind of attire that we wear? Basically, it depends on weather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally dependent upon the weather, what kind of weather, what kind of climate it is, right?
Yes.
Now, let's suppose if the temperature is less than 25 degrees Celsius, right? If it's 25 degrees Celsius, then what we will do, we will wear a shirt or a hoodie, right? But if it's more than that, we will wear a t-shirt, right? Now that's the kind of thing that we think in our brain, and according to that, we'll make the decision. Now, how do we make the same thing for the computer to decide if we want him to make the decision, right? So we need to visualize that. So let's try to visualize it. Let's try to see how it works. So you can see my page, right?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yes. Hey, Sifatul, you can hear me, right? You can unmute and say. You can unmute and say.
Yeah, I absolutely can hear you.
Okay,
Also, can hear.
okay. So, okay, let me just give an overview of what, because you have joined, and I believe you will be staying until the end. So I'll just give you an overview of what we are going to. We are right now looking at control statements. So it's mainly the decision making statements, decision making loop, how a code runs, right? So we decide on various conditions. What do we do in our life, right? So the same things, if we need the computer to perform, so what kind of things it needs to do, what kind of things it has on its own. So that is called control statements. So if we look at control statements, it just helps the computer make some decisions based on the specific conditions that we give, right? And we will look at flowcharts. So flowchart is a visualization helping aid, I would say. It represents the entire decision-making process visually, and it determines what should be done based on any kind of given situation, right? So that's what. And agenda, it's there, what we are going to cover. So anyway, we'll be going through it. So I'll be showing my notebook now, and I'll show, right? So we are now trying to decide what to wear, right? So we were discussing, Safitul, that when we wear something, when we wear something, the wearing any kind of attire actually depends on the weather, right? It depends on the weather, what kind of weather it is, right? Now let's suppose we have given the criteria as 25 degrees Celsius. Let's suppose we have given the base limit is 25 degrees Celsius. So 25 degrees Celsius is kind of a generalized, like kind of a base limit that, okay, if the temperature is below this, then we will wear, then we will wear, what we will wear? We will wear either a hoodie or a shirt. If it's greater than 25 degrees, then we will wear a t-shirt, right? Now, this is what we ourselves, we will think, we will feel, and we will go with it. But now, how do we make the computer make this decision on its own, right? So for this, we will need something called as control statements, right? So control statements helps the computer actually to make decisions based on a certain kind of conditions, like this kind of conditions. So I know that computer does not need to wear any kind of t-shirt or hoodie or any kind of thing, but if it needs to make any those kind of decisions, right? So what are flowcharts? So we will try to understand what flowcharts are and how it goes. It just shows visually. If we had been in our first semester in of our BTech degree, BS, then BE degree, then we would have needed this for our practicals for our exams. But now it's not needed. We just need to understand how the code flows, right? So what happens is this represents the decision making block. So what it does is, so in this block, we will give the condition. If temperature is less than 25 degrees Celsius, okay? If temperature is less than 25 degrees Celsius, then what we will do, if it's true, now there can be two conditions. If means what? If either this is true or it is false, right? It will always give two. It is already always dependent on these two results. Other than these two results, there cannot be any other thing in if conditions, right? Be it if, be it while. So these kind of things will always look on the conditions. If condition becomes true, then it will give some kind of output. It will go in one direction. If condition is false, it will go in another direction, right? So if it's true, then what do? We will go for a shirt or a hoodie. And if it's false, then we will go for a t-shirt, right? So these two are the possible results. These two are the possible results, right? And this thing gives these things at the end, it makes the decision, right? So this is the main, not this part. This is the main. So there will be some kind of temperature, either the user will give, or it will be given directly on the code. So temperature something will be given from the input. So according that will be fed into this. Once this is fed, there can be only two possibilities, either true or false. If statements will only have two possibilities, either true or false, right? So true will go in one direction, false will go in one direction. Now, if you see, this is a mandatory step, right? This step will always follow. Then it will go in this direction or this direction. It will not go in both the directions, right? It's not possible. Once it goes in one direction, that other route is done. Other route is closed, right? So it's either like this or like this, right? It cannot be like this and like this, right? So that's not happening. It will either go like this or go like this. Okay. So this is the code flow, how the code flows. So like this or like this, like that. Okay. This much is clear, guys.
Clear.
Okay.
Yes, clear.
Now I will show you the. So here, the next question, the next thing is greetings problem. So how do we greet in a certain situation, right? So we will greet based on the time, right? As we were based on the climate, on the weather, we greet as per the time, right? If time is 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., it's good morning, right? If 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., it's good afternoon. 5 to 8 p.m., good evening. Then 8 p.m. onwards, it's good night. Okay. So uh, let's forget about this criteria. Let's try to do this once. Uh, do this a small that what do we say? A diagrammatic. How I used to how I was showing you guys. So greeting. So same thing. Let's suppose x has the current time. We'll give x as the input from the user, or we will either give it beforehand. Anything we can give in the x. So x will actually have the time that we based on which we will return the input, we will return the output, we will return the greeting, right? So same way how that was happening, we will make x is if x is greater than, let's suppose, 6 a.m. and x is less than 12 p.m. Okay. If this time falls under this condition. If it falls under this condition means what? It's true. And if it's true, then what do we will say? We will say print good morning, right? The code flow will go like this and it will end here, right? If this condition is satisfied, right? This much is clear. If it's true, the code will end here. Correct, guys? Next, if it's false, let's suppose false means what? The input that we had given of the current time, it does not fall under this condition. It's something else. It's something else. It might be lesser than this or it might be greater than this, right? Then what? Then we have to again run another condition. If x is greater than equal to 12 p.m. and x is less than 5 p.m. Why I am using greater than equal here? Let's try to observe, because I did not use less than equal to 12. So if I give greater than 12 p.m. and if the input comes as 12, then it will have no other way to greet him a good afternoon, right? So that's why now if the timing falls under this category, in this condition, that means it's a true. And now what it will print? It will print good afternoon, right? So now the code flow is something like this. It's like this, right? It came here, it checked, it did not happen, it went here, it checked, okay, it's done, right? Now let's suppose it did not even fall under this condition also. Then again we can give another false condition. Again we can increase the loop till whatever time we had given the condition. Let's suppose 6 to 12, 12 to 5, 5 to 8, 5 to 8, 8 to 8 onwards. So we can keep on moving this true and false, true and false. Understood, guys? Clear this much?
Clear. Okay.
Okay. So this is the basic flowchart. We don't need to learn how to draw flowchart, what kind of diagram will be there, nothing. Just how the code flows. Just shows the control statement, an overview of the control statement. And this is how, this is where the control is. So it was checking here. it went here. So this flow, how it is going, is the control statement, right? Now let's try to understand the next part. So first control statement is if block, right? Then the pseudocode. Pseudocode means, guys, it's not the entire, it's not the proper conditional style, it's not the proper syntax kind of code, I would say. The pseudocode is like it's just kind of the skeleton of the. It's just kind of the blueprint of the code. It's not. No one will cancel or no one will cut. It just need to have the important conditions and important statements of the entire code. So it does not check any condition. Anyway, we won't run pseudocodes in our compiler or any kind of IDE. So pseudocode is just for an overview of for understanding the entire thing, right? And so this is the pseudocode. What pseudocode is saying? This is the if. After if, we will write the condition. What condition? The condition like we did here, like we did in our 6 a.m., like in our temperature. So in temperature, what did we write? Less than 25 degrees Celsius, right? So that less than temperature less than 25 degrees Celsius is a condition. So that condition will come here in the if in this line, and then if that is true, then it will print something. And this is a equal to true is just it's given, it's just a random statement which has been given. We can assign anything. So let's suppose we want to change something. Let's suppose we had given a equal to false before this if condition, before this if statement. If the loop, sorry, if the control statement goes under this, that if it is true, then we will change the a to true so that we can run something else. We will go into those kind of things in the later stage. Anyway, we will have various examples. So we will go through it. So it's just the idea that how if condition is framed. It has it's very indentation sensitive. Python is very indentation sensitive. So yeah, if we are writing something under one indentation, under an if block, it should be in the same indentation. So that's what it is saying. Python does not use curly braces. In other languages, we used curly braces, C, C++, all those things, Java and all. But here we won't use curly braces. It needs only the indentation. If anything comes under the same indent, it becomes part of one block, one if block. Okay. So if you see in this one, this is an if condition, right? So here you can see with the pseudocode we can match, right? In this if, this is the condition. So this is the condition. So now tell me, is this 56 greater than 50? It's true, right? 56 is actually greater than 50. So it's true. So that means the control flow will come inside this. The flow will go inside this if block. That means it's true, right? The flow will go inside here. So once the flow comes inside here, that means it will print this, it will print this also, correct? And because these are under the same indent, they fall under this if block, right? So if I run this, what should it print? It should print 1 and 2, right? Because this is true, correct? Let it connect. Once it connects, it will be running. Okay, connected. Right? Because this was true, and both these statements are coming under this if block, are coming under the same indentation. So it is both are part of this, and because this is true, both will get printed. Okay. Now here, this is true. This will print. This will print. Then it will come out of the block, and then because this line is not dependent upon this block, so whatever the output of this block is, it won't care and it will always run. This line will always run because of the indentation. It is independent of this indentation. So if we run this, we will get the output as 1, 2, 3. Clear, guys? This much?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, now tell me what the output for this one should be. Looking at this, what should be the output of this one? You can
It
unmute
should,
and say,
yeah, it should print 3.
yeah, it will print 3. Why? Because this is false.
Condition.
Yeah, 5 is not greater than 50. It is saying only if 5 is greater than 50. That means whether it is true or not. If this condition is true, only then you run these two statements. This is not true. So this will not even enter in this block. And it will come out of this block and then it will just print the statement which is independent of this block, right? Now, tell me whether this condition is true or false and how many lines it will print.
Condition is true, so it will print 4 lines.
4 lines. Yes, correct. So this is independent of these three lines or this if block. Whether any kind of output comes or does not come, it will always print because this is not independent. This is not dependent of this thing, and these three are dependent of the if block. If the if block is true, if the if condition is true, then this three will run. Now, because 25 is less than 30, which is a true condition, so this three will run, right? So this three is running. Now, the same thing. This is 5 into 5, it's 25. Is it less than 20? No. So this entire three, this block will not even run. It will just come out and it will just print the line which is independent of the if block. If block is clear, guys? No issues? All correct? All done?
Yeah.
Correct. Now, let's try to see this. Let's try to see the understand the syntax of the if block. If block statement is as we have seen. I'll just write. I will also be adding these things in the collab for a little bit for a little bit better understanding. So the column is very important. Colon is very important. Then whatever you want to print something, whatever you like. Then any kind of operation you want to run, any kind of things you want to do. Then again, if you want to print something, you can print. Okay. So this is the if block, and you can see this is the indentation, right? So this indentation is very important. Okay. Now we will see the if else block. If else block, how it goes. So in the if else block, so there are there will be many conditions where we will have to also write code, where we will also make the code feasible that if the if condition is doing something, then the else condition, then the false condition also do something. In those kind of scenarios, we will need if else block. Like in in the greetings question, right? In the greetings question, there is a else condition also, right? If there is no else condition, if we are checking only for the if condition, then how would we check for the other conditions, right? So if we need to check for other conditions, then we will have to use if else block, right? So similarly, here we will start with the if condition. In the if condition, we will use a specific indentation. Whatever you file, generally we will use a tab or we will use 4 spaces. Then we will run. So what it is saying, the code internally it will say you run these statements if the condition is true. If the condition is true, you will be running whatever statements, whatever operation has been given in this indentation, right? Now, if the if condition was done, it was done, it will go. Now let's suppose the if does not have anything, then else has something. Then else will also say, run these statements, run these statements if condition is false. That means this if condition has two probability, right? One is true, one is false. For true, it will run this. For false, it will run this, right? But and again, same. It's it's important for the indentation. And if we say anything here, if we run any kind of statements here, so what does it say? Run this statements always, right? Because this is independent of the above if block. So whatever we write in this indentation directly under the if condition, if block, so the indentation of the if block, this will always run, right? This much is clear, right? This will run, how this will go. It's clear, right, guys?
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you.
it's clear.
Okay. Let me show you few of the codes how they run. So what is saying in the pseudocode? What it is saying? So if true, that means whatever the condition we had given here, if it becomes true, if that's true, then it will run these statements. What I just showed you, right? Then it will not even go in the else block. Okay, it will not even go towards the else block. It will just finish and it will just come out, and then it will always run this. But if this was not true, if this was false, then it will not even enter here, and it will directly go into the else condition statements, and it will run these statements. Whatever those statements may be, you have written any operations, you have written print statements, you have taken any kind of input there, whatever, it will go, it will run there. Okay, and then again this line will run. Correct? This much is clear. So similar, so for that exactly I have we have one question here. Okay, a is 2. We have stored a to the power 5 into the result, so which is 2 to the power 5. Correct? Now 2 to the power 5 is what? 32. Now 32, if the 32 is saved in the result variable, right? So this is checking. If result is greater than 25, print this is massive. Tell me whether this line will get printed or not, or this line will get printed.
It will print else part, and then after that, the code that is below that, which is out of the if else statement, that is print complete.
So you are saying pretty small complete.
Yeah.
You sure? Let me run it.
Just give me 1 minute. I think it's power operator, right?
Yeah, it's power operator.
32. Oh, okay. No, it will print the if part.
Yeah, it will print the if part. It will not even go because 32 is greater than
Yeah.
25, right? It's a
Yeah.
true condition. It's a true statement, true condition. So if it's true, then the if block will run, else block will get ignored, not even goes, it will not even step inside it. So the control flow is here, not here. Okay. So if I again add something that the control flow is here, then and if I add the control flow is here. So if I run this, it will say this is massive. The control flow is here. So the control flow is, let's suppose I will make it more. Control flow is in the if block. Okay, I will I will make it like this, and then I will is in the else block. So it is saying the control flow is in the if block, right? Now I will just change this. I will just make it less than. Now it is saying 32 is less than 25. Is it? No, right? So it will not even go there. The control flow is coming here. So pretty small. So if you see, you will see the output. See, the control flow is in the if, in the else block, right? Understood? Clear?
Yeah, clear.
Clear
Actually,
now?
I
Okay.
interchanged the value. Instead of 2 to the
Oh,
power 5, I did 5 square, and that's how
five
like
square.
it is.
Okay, okay. No problem, no problem. So, guys, tell me one thing. Can you try the flow chart for this condition quickly on your own? Do you have the pen and paper with you? Can you just try in 1 minute or 2 minutes from your side how the control statement will look for this one?
Yeah, sure.
Safitul, are you trying? Are you listening? Are you there? Could you also try? Try doing that. So it'll help you
Yeah, yes,
understand
I'm
how
here,
the.
but uh,
Okay,
my pen and paper is not near me. So
okay, sure. Just tell me, guys, whenever you are done. Uh, just once done, could you make the effort of posting the picture? Could you take a picture of it and post it in the Discord channel so that it makes it can help the people that okay something is happening, right? Because it seems like what do I say? People are not. Maybe they are busy, or maybe they feel this is not that much important. So okay, even if we are one person or two people, let's make it as much interactive as possible, right? Guys,
You want a
when
flow chart, right?
yeah, flowchart, yes.
Okay.
And remember, I did not show you how to write the block which is independent of the if block, right? In my temperature condition, I did not show you how to write it. So could you try on your own that the print complete line that I have written there, the print complete part, where will you put? So that's a little bit trick that if you can think of your own, like where that part will where that block will fall if both the statements, either any of the statements are true or false. Where can you adjust in the flowchart?
In both condition, we can add this complete part, whether it is yes or not. If yes, we will print complete after the result, and if it is no, then
Yeah.
also we have to put
Yes.
complete
Yeah,
in
you
both.
have to put the complete. Yeah. How would you? How do you think it should? How do you think? Where do you think it should fit in the flowchart? Because in the flowchart, I did not show you the line which is independent of it. Okay, you just try and you show me the pictures. I'm waiting in the Discord channel. You just post it. I'll check how you have tried. You done? Almost done? What's the update? Okay, guys. Tell me, you done?
Yeah, I'm posting my.
Okay. Harish, how about you?
Give me 1 minute. I'm also posting.
Sure.
Instead of full statements, I just printed true and false
Yeah, yeah.
just to
It's
make it
fine.
shorter.
It's fine. It's fine. Yes, correct. Correct. Correct, Harish. That's what. That's the main thing. Yes.
It's showing some issue in my Discord thing. I can't post.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Is your Is your flowchart matching with what Sayed, what
Uh,
Harish just
yeah,
posted?
I wrote complete in two times. Didn't
Okay.
connect it well, but yeah,
Yes. Yeah. See, that's what the main thing is. If you look at this, I will also try to show you so that it's there on record. The recording. So, okay. Here. So the result will enter. So the result block will enter in the if loop, in the if condition, in the if this flow, it will check the 32 is less than 25. No, no means false. It will enter here, print pretty small, then it will come and print complete, right? Because it needs to print complete for both the conditions. So both the conditions at the end, both the output at the end should go and merge at the end statement, right? Whatever it is, right? If after print complete we had given, if after print complete we had given, that's it, print, that's it, then how would it have become? Then from here again we would have given print, that's it. So it's just showing that the control flow here coming like this, like this, like this. Okay. Similarly, if our if this condition, if instead of 2 we had 1, then 1 is less than 25, right? This is a true condition. In true condition also it would have said, okay, this is massive, and then again it should have printed complete, right? So it should have gone like this. Why do we need to break it two times, right? Because both the things at the end are merged, going and giving only one, going into a single route, so the route should merge, right? So that's what the control flow is. Clear, Sifitul?
yep, clear, clear.
Okay. Okay. Great, guys. Thank you for your initiative. Thank you for taking the effort and posting. All right. So I will make a few flowcharts and I will add those things here. That will be done from my side. Next question is checking password. Print password incorrect if incorrect, print password correct if correct. Same thing. What we will do, our original password is this password. Okay. So this is using the previous classes variables and input things. Harish, you remember, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, saving a string. This is a string, right? We are saving this string inside this variable original password. Now we will store and we will check, we will store the input of the user on the variable in the variable password. Now we will check if the password that the user has given matches with the original password, then we will print password correct. Otherwise, it will print password incorrect. So this is uh, just the kind of top layer how the code works actually. The when we get the output, right, that incorrect password, a valid, invalid, error, all those things, right? So it's kind of using like this at the back end, right? So whatever password we give at the in the system, it will be stored in some kind of variable at the system's memory, and then whatever password we put there, it will be checking in that original password some variable, it will be using whatever the coder has given while he coded that entire OS. So in that it will check, and if it's matching, then we will be able to successfully log in. If it does not match, we'll get some kind of error, right? So the control flow is understood, right? So Sifitul, I don't know whether you have gone through the recordings of the previous classes. I'm assuming you know this input and this variable saving strings in variable. I believe, I assume you understand, right? Did you get this?
Yep, I have the knowledge about the
Oh,
variable.
okay, okay. So if I run this, what I will be prompted with? First, I'll be just prompted enter the password, whatever password I want to enter. If I give the same password, then I will be given password correct. If I run it again, and if I give password E, it will say password incorrect, right? So that's it. That's simple it is. Now, this one. Okay, tell me fast. What will be printed? Fast.
The if part and the last logic, the last two lines.
True
Yes.
part. True part
Because,
and
yes, two part and the last two parts. Correct. So, because 2 into 2 is 4, 4 is equal to 4. This is the equality sign, right? It's checking whether it is equal or not. It's not assigning, it's checking the equality. So, if it because this is true, it will go inside here because it's not, and it will not even go there, and then it will print this in this print last two things, right? Oh, this is correct. And so, well, code is not complete. I have verified, right? But if I just change small thing, it will be gone. It's saying, okay, oops, incorrect. I'm so dumb, right? That's it. Next, oh, same thing. I changed the condition here anyways, for us to understand. So I made the condition is 6 here. So both the conditions are running, right? Now we will check. We will try to use the. We'll try to run the greetings condition using if else. How to do? So guys, can you try on your own for 5 minutes? If I give you 5 minutes, can you try on your own to come up with the solution? Just what I want is, and anyway, whoever will be watching this recording in the future, I would want them also to stop and think for 5 minutes and try to come up with the logic, because this helps with the logic building, right? That's very, very important, how we build the logic for the code, because we can see and we can do, that's easy, and that will also help, but it will need more time. But right now at the beginning, if we can come up with the logic building, that okay, in the else this should come, this should come, this should come, just try to come up. If you don't need 5 minutes, 3 4 minutes just to think, it's okay. What do you say? Is it okay, or should I just show you the code? What do you say?
We'll try. We'll try.
Sure, sure. Thanks.
hello. I did not get your question properly. Can you please clarify again?
Sure. So this greetings question I showed, right, in the in the beginning of the class, in the beginning of the session, right? That
Yeah, yeah.
there are various time slots like 9 to 12. If it's 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., so we need to print good morning. We need to greet good morning. I have this is there, right? So oh sorry, this is there. This block you can see. If time is greater than 9 and time is less than 12, print good morning. Then we need to come up with the other conditions. Like if it's from 12 to 5, good evening, right? Then, oh sorry, 12 to 5, good afternoon, 5 to midnight, 5 to midnight, good night, and from midnight to then you can print anything. You can just say, okay, go ahead, sleep, soja, or anything you want. So the main condition is 9 to 12, good morning, 12 to 5, good afternoon, 5 to 8, good evening, not 8, 5 to midnight,
Right.
midnight. But it should be, but it should be in 24 hours. Anyway, it has to be 24 hours, because otherwise how will we prompt in this computer, right? So it's fine. We can also use 24, then we will need to make it a string. That's all right. It's fine. Oh, no, that's not all right. We cannot use 12-hour
So
format
integer
here.
we have to put
What?
integer thing we have to put in input to
Yes,
verify.
yes, yes. Because we see in coding, what we do, we don't usually assign the variable and run the code, because in actual scenario, everything will be from the user, right? Whatever the user gives the input in the UI, according to that he will get some kind of output in the browser or in any kind of page, right? So that's why we are dealing more mainly in the input. We'll be dealing mainly in the input. So that's why whatever we do, we mostly try to do it using input, because input of the user is very important. Because in real scenario also we'll be using input of the user only. So let's try to build the habit right now. Did you get Sifitul? You need any other explanation? Should I help? Should you need some other help?
So basically,
Yeah.
when we have multiple condition, not only one,
Huh.
then we have to use elif in case of Python
Yeah.
to use the other condition.
Yeah. Yes.
Different condition. First, we have to put a condition, then the other condition will have to use elif. And at the last case, you said that from midnight to uh, morning,
No,
then
I did not say Elif at this point. We are doing if else block right now. We did not even reach Elif, right? You try using else. In the else block, you think of something so that you can make the code run without using Elif at this point. Because that will
okay.
also,
So if I put if in case of first condition, you can say the good morning part. Uh,
yeah.
then in case yeah, we have to put a multiple if block to check the condition. And
Yes.
so if the time is uh, greater than 6, you can say 6, and less than 12, you can say good morning. And
Yes.
in the next block, if in next if block, we have to put the time if the time is greater than 12 and less than 5, and we have to use and operator to merge those things. Then we will print the good evening part, and after 5 to midnight, sorry, good
Could
afternoon.
you could you could you could you write it and send it,
I
show me?
I I wrote it in my diary, but I some Discord thing. I have to verify my phone number to post on this Discord, but I forgot my password, so I have to.
Okay, I really want to see your code. Okay, wait. Do one thing. I will stop the screen share. You send me your phone number in the chat, and I will add you in the WhatsApp, and I will check your code, what you have written.
Okay, okay,
Is
okay.
that
That will be
okay?
great.
Okay. Okay. Um, is it 0156?
Yeah, start with plus double it.
Okay. Where is it from?
I'm from Bangladesh.
Okay. Okay. Plus double eight.
Yep.
Plus double eight. Zero.
Plus double it and rest of the number you can type.
Oh, okay. Okay. Zero is not needed, right?
No. Plus double
One
it
five.
and then start 0156.
Zero is needed.
Yeah, zero is needed.
156. Okay. Okay, I've texted you in WhatsApp. You can send me a code. I think I know what you have written, but still, let me
Okay, okay, I'm
just.
sending.
Harish, how far have you gone? You're almost there.
Actually, just give 1 minute. Like I'm thinking, you want a 24-hour format, right?
Yeah, 24 hour is actually easier. 2012 is 12. I don't think is doable here.
But I have one doubt. Like
Sure,
in 24-hour format, then okay, understood.
you got your answer.
Yeah, I was writing in the mid chat only. I lost it. I have to write it again.
So, in case of midnight 12, how we should express it? So, in
Easy, easy 24, right? We'll just use
24.
24.
Okay, okay. 20.
Okay, you are using multiple if conditions. Yes, I thought you would use this. So what you were saying is you got the input, then you are using directly if time is greater than 6 and time less than 12, print good morning. If, then without using else, you directly wrote if time is. This works. It's not that this does not work, but I wanted you to come up with like directly after the if block, you use an else block. Inside that else, you write it because this is a if else block, right? It's not an if else, right? Like let's try to think in that way because it's an if else block. Let's try to think it in a way that under the else block you write multiple if conditions, even if it won't look like this, but you can write something else.
So, you are telling about the multiple if inside else block.
Yeah, I'm saying, see, after your first if block is needed, right? See the pseudocode here. The pseudocode is if then else, right? But what you wrote was you wrote uh, like this. Then again, if true, right?
Yeah.
Run this. My screen is visible, right? Then if
Okay.
again true,
I'm trying another thing. It will.
run this. So your code is like this. I want you to, oh, yes, my screen is visible. I want you to not write like this. I wanted you to try to write. It's not that that code will not work. I am trying you to think in this format. If is gone, if it's not if it's not working, then try to manage something inside the else block. Then
Okay,
try to do
okay.
something in the else block. Yes. So the people watching through the going through the recording, if anyone is going through, you can skip this parts whenever. So I have to think of both the sides also. So yeah. Yes. Yes. Harish, how much are we done?
Yeah, but I think I have complicated the code because I have
No,
nested
it's
multiple.
no, it's fine, it's fine. Whatever you have tried till now, just send it. You just send it. It's fine. Correct, wrong, no worries. Just send it. I'll just go through the approach that you have tried to. I just want to see how you have approached the question. That's it. Okay, Harish, it's fine. Let's continue. Just send whatever how you have approached. Let's see, and I'll just go through the code. Another very important question is again there. ATM dispensing question.
Mm, might be the indentation may not be correct because I have typed it in the chat as.
Yes, yes, I got it. Yes, correct. Uh, if else if yeah, you have used too many because you have divided many things, but still, yeah, the approach is good. Um, Can't create any more. Yeah, your approach is correct. Yes. So yes. Okay. Mhm. All right. So I guess you have gotten it. So same thing, because we are trying to. So I believe both of you guys are here. Um,
Yeah.
so let's try to understand. So what we are doing is, if time we have taken the input, then if time is greater than 9 and time is less than equal to 12, print good morning. Then else. In the else, we will again have to run the if block, right? Because we don't have any other way. We have to check those conditions again, right? Now, because we are following the if else block um, syntax, so we are using this if inside this else block. Okay. We cannot just write something here that print good afternoon, right? Because we have to check multiple conditions here, correct? Because we have to check multiple conditions, we need to write multiple else and if conditions inside the else block, correct? So in this else block, I will again write if our required condition for the afternoon. Then again again inside that else block, again I will write the if statement for the good night. And then I will write okay, so jao, bye bye. Okay, right? So this is what the this is just the basic code. Next condition is like more appropriate, more like with proper those things. So if I'm giving 5, so it's saying still it's sleeping time. I don't even want to greet you. So all right. So this is a little bit more comprehensive, I would say. Why? Because so you see what this code is doing, you will understand. So this is saying, please enter time of the day in 24-hour format. Then if time is greater than 4 and 12, greater than 4 or 12, in this condition it will print good afternoon. It's writing two empty string, two empty print. What this will do, if this condition, if this block runs, then after printing two, it will print two new lines. It will just give two blank lines before printing this final loop, this final condition, this final print statement, because this print statement is not dependent on anyone, right? So if this one is running, only in that case we will have two new lines, two blank lines between good morning and program complete. I will run those. So let's try to understand first. So after that, what we are saying, we're saying in the else, okay, what I'm saying, because it did not enter here, so we are giving the user an intimation that this is not morning. It is not morning. Now I will check. Now I will check another condition for the afternoon. If it's greater than equal to 12 and 16, that means 4 p.m., then I will say good afternoon and afternoon. That means I am greeting good afternoon, then I am indicating that it's afternoon. Okay, it is afternoon. If it has gone here, it will not go here. It will print these two lines and it will print here. It will come here, right? Now, let's suppose it did not even come here, it came here. If it came here, it will run this line, then it will run this two line, then it will run this line. Correct? Now, here if you see, till here, if you see that evening slot is gone, that means after 12 and 16, if it's not coming here, that means it is saying that it is evening, it's afternoon, and either it's evening. Then when we write this print statement under this indentation, if we're writing this print statement under this indentation, so it won't consider, it won't say what it is saying. It is indicating that it is not dependent upon these two blocks, this if block, this if else block. it will anyway run. And does it make sense? Absolutely, it makes sense, because what it is saying, if I am looking at this block, see, this block was checking for the morning greeting, right? And this block was actually specially looking for the afternoon block, afternoon evening block. So if I make this line here in this indentation, so it is saying it is either afternoon or evening, right? We did not check for the night part. That's a different scenario. If we had checked for the night part, then we could have changed the code anyhow, however we felt. We are now checking just for afternoon, evening, and morning. So I am adding, that is why we are adding this. It's either afternoon, evening here, right? And then program complete here. So it might look little bit tricky or might look complex at this moment, but if you yourself go through this code and if you write it on your own, please, I would request you to write the codes on your own. Writing is very important and running is also very important. Please run the codes, try different outputs, and please manipulate the code on your own also. You try to do a bit of your own experimentation with the code so that you get the idea, okay, this is how the control flow is going, the flow is where, how the flow is going, right? That's very, very important for us to really understand how the code flows, okay, right? So irrespective of whatever this prints, this line will anyway print, right? Got it, guys? Till here clear? Harish, Pivotal. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Shall I move? Shall I move? Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Next is, let's see. So what are this? So this will check, this will give us the true or false. This is Boolean. So these are the, uh, uh, so this will just check the conditions, right? And based on that, it will give us the output. So it is saying that it's true, right? And it is also true, right? Then it is also true, but this is not true, correct? So greater than, being greater than, how important being greater than is, greater than equal to is also giving us same kind of indication, right? So greater than equal is also checking either greater or equal to, right? Greater than or equal to the, and the, if you extend the entire thing, it's said, if you extend that operator, it's saying that I am whether the left hand side is greater than or equal to, either greater or equal, whatever is true is true. It's not saying greater than and equal to. If it had been saying, if it was saying greater than and equal to, then both the condition needed to be true. That it has to be greater also, it has to be equal also, which is not even, which does not even make any sense, right? That a number cannot be, then it will always give false. Are you following me? What I am trying to say? The statements that I am making, are you able to follow? Follow, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one. So 7 is not greater than 7, right? 7 is either greater or equal to 7. It's not greater, but it is equal to 7. So it is giving true because one of those condition is true. Either it's or, right? We learned in the truth table that in or, if one is true, if one part is true, the entire thing is true. So 7 is not greater than, but it is equal to 7. So if one part is equal, then if is true, then the entire thing is true. But this one is saying I am greater than myself. That's not true. So it's giving false. Now, guys, a very good question, which really triggers the thought process and logic building. So let's say we have been given in the ATM machine, we are given only 500 and 200 currency notes, right? Now, whatever amount we put, see, if we had given 100 notes, then any kind of denomination either other than 50 like 350, 250. Other than those, the solid denomination would be discharging, right? But the trick here is it does not have 100 notes, 100 rupees notes. It has 500 and 200 rupees notes. So we have to build the code, the logic in such a way that it dispenses the discharge, it prints if the amount is really dischargeable. If the amount is really dischargeable, then it should say discharging cash. If the amount is not, then it should say denomination not available, right? So according to our condition, what is the condition? 500 and 200, right? Is 300 dischargeable? For 300 to be discharged, we need either three 100 rupees notes or one 200 rupees notes and one 100 rupees notes. Without 100 rupees note, 300 is not dischargeable, right? So for 300, we should get the output as denomination not available, right? Correct? You're following me? You got this? But 700, for 700, 700 is really dischargeable, right? Because we have, for 700 to be out, to come out, we don't just need the combination of three 200 rupees notes and one 100 rupees notes. We need one 500 rupees notes and one 200 rupees note, right? So it is dischargeable. So how do we build the logic for this code, right? Let's try to think. Correct? Let's suppose whatever whatever amount we enter, if the remainder of that amount by 500, let's see, let's try to think in a way. Just guys, be with me, okay? Just try to follow with me. Give me some response. Be interactive with me. Ask me questions. You can unmute yourself and ask me questions, and let's make this part an interactive part so we can understand this properly. Okay. So if I give 500 rupees, if I enter 500 rupees, it is dischargeable, right? So what makes it dischargeable? The logic of it, how should we think? It definitely, so at the basic idea, it should be divisible by 500. The amount should be divisible by 500, right? Only then 500 can be discharged. Correct? Till here you are with me?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, right? Yeah. You please keep it on mute and just you can, let's make it a discussion kind of thing.
Sure.
Right? Now, similarly, for us to take out 200 rupees denomination notes, the amount should be also the amount should be divisible by 200 also, right?
Yeah.
If it's divisible by 200, that means it's dispensable. That means it's dispensing, right? Now, how do we build the code in such a way that it is satisfying both the needs? It's satisfying both the needs, but it is not giving error for the codes which are dischargeable, right? Now, let's try to. So what we first come up with, let's do the amount first. Let's try to divide it by 500, right? If we divide it by 500 and then we divide it by 200, because let's try to think, if 700 rupees, right? If 700 divisible by 500, 700 modulo 500 is what? 200. 200 divisible by 200. So 0. So it should print discharging cash, right? It looks good, correct? But what about 400? Sorry, 400 also it will work, because 400 modulo 500, 400 modulo 200 is 0. So it will print. But do you know the problem with this code? With this code, what kind of currency it will not, it will give error. Try to think, guys. What do you think?
Just thinking about that edge case only.
Yeah,
Can I say 2100?
2100.
Yeah.
Not only 2100.
One of the
2100
cases.
is, yeah, yeah, it's one of the cases. Just let's try to think of a near one, which is actually, see, we don't need bigger thing. We need to think of a condition where it is giving error for a currency which is dispensable by 200, but it will show error, which is 600.
600. Yeah.
See, 600, right? Because what this code will do, 600 modulo 500, 100, 100 modulo 200 is 100. So it will say denomination not available, right?
Yeah.
But actually 600 is actually is dispensable, right? Because
Yes.
600, because we have 200 nodes, so we should have gotten three 200 nodes, so it is actually dispensable. But this code is not letting us dispense 200 600 rupees, right? So if I give 600, it is saying denomination not available, but denomination is actually available, right? So if I give 700, it will saying discharging cash. If I give 500, it will say discharging cash. If I say 400, it will say discharging cash. But what about the other case? What about the 800 rupees case? It is a denomination not available, but denomination is actually available, right? So this is where it fails, right? Now, uh, this is what following the solution, this code checks if the remainder amount after dispensing 500 notes can be dispensed in 200 rupees notes. You got this line, right? Can you see? This code checks if the remainder amount after dispensing 500 rupees notes can be dispensed in 200 rupees or notes, right? For this code, the priority is 500, right? It is not
Yes.
checking if it's not dependent on 500, its dependency is in 500. We need to come up with a solution which is saying, okay, I don't only need to be 500. If I can be discharged using the 200, I need to be discharged, right? So we need to change something, right? We need to change something here. So we will say, okay, let's try this way. Let's try to divide it. If either it is dispense, either we will divide it by 500 or we will divide it by 200. Then it says like, okay, it kind of makes sense that if it's not divisible by 500, it will be divisible by 200. If any of the condition is true, then I will get it, right? But this also has issues, right? Because in case of amount like 700, what it will do, it neither gets out by 500 nor it comes out by 200, right? It is a combination of both the 500 and 200 rupees, right?
Yes.
So directly it will give error, right? Denomination not available, but actually it's available, but it will run for 600. It will run for 600 now, you see. It will run for 800 now, right? It will also run for 500 or 1000 rupees also, right? Sorry, 100 anyway, sorry, typing mistake. But you see, it will not run for 900. But actually 900 is possible, correct? Because one 500 and two 200 is possible. But this is not letting us do that, right? This is saying this code checks whether the entered amount can be dispensed using either 500 rupees notes or 200 rupees notes, not the combination of both the things, right? So now what to do? Let's try to merge both the things, right? Now this is even more serious. This is saying I will come out only if I am divisible by both the things. This is more messy. This is much more messier because this will not let us take out multiple amount of money, right? It will only say, see, 500 itself is saying I am dispensable, but then 200 will come and say, okay, no, You are not divisible by b. I will not. You are not divisible by me. So how can you say? Even 500 itself will not work here in this case, right? So if you say 500, 500 itself will say I am not dispensable, right? Because what this is saying? This is saying that I need to be divisible by, I need to be divisible by 500 also. I need to, that means what it is saying, if in literal words it's saying this code checks whether the entire amount can be dispensed using both 500 and 200 rupees notes. It needs to be dispensed using both the types of notes, right? In the literal terms, right? Literally, it's saying that, which does not make sense, right? So after doing all these things, what do we say? We say we come to this conclusion that for amount lesser than 500, amounts that can be dispensed are 200, 400. That is, amount should be divisible by 200, right? You got this part? Because we need to take care of 200 rupees notes and 400 rupees notes also, right? Guys, you there?
Yes, following.
Yes, following, right? So for amounts lesser than 500, this condition needs to be looked into it. Now for amounts which are amounts that can be for amounts greater than 500, which can be dispensed as 600, 700, 800, these amounts are actually divisible by 100 also, right? And this kind of amount can be taken out using the 200 rupees notes, but they are actually divisible by 100. So what we were saying is we totally ignored the condition, the possibility of using 100 here, right? Correct? You getting what I'm saying? The 100 plays a major role here. It's not saying that I should be taken out using 100 rupees notes, but only if we use the 100 rupees, the 100 rupees, not rupees in terms of rupees, by 100, right? Because if you see, how can you club? See, using using these three conditions of 500 and 200, we tried three conditions, right? And none of them worked. Because of what? Because of denominations like this. These denominations were not letting us the code to run properly in this kind of scenarios and other scenarios also, right? But we observe, what do we observe? If we see properly, if we observe properly, if the amount is divisible by 500, after that 600 amount is actually divisible by 100. Even if it is divisible by 100, it can be dispensed using three 200 rupees notes, right? You following me, guys?
Can you repeat once, like?
Yeah, sure. I can repeat. You see, 100 here does not make in the literal sense as 100 rupees. Okay, let's be clear with that. What I'm saying is, for conditions for the amount greater than 500, let's suppose 600. For 600, we don't, we not, it's not like that we need 100 rupees for the 600 to be dispensed. It can be dispensed using 200, right? You following that? Till here you following? 600
Yeah.
can be dispensed using 200 rupees, three 200 rupees notes, right?
Yeah.
But did you observe one thing? Any amount which is greater than 500 rupees, and whatever the remainder is being left, if you divide that by 100, the remainder will always be zero. For conditions like 600, for conditions like what do we say? For conditions like 1100, for conditions like 1600, right? So those are a different batch of cash which need the 200 rupees notes, right? But they need the help of 100. You getting or you're getting confused? You're not getting what I'm saying? You see, let's I'm you just try to look at the example here. The 600 rupees notes, after dividing by 500, let's suppose 600 rupees notes, I'll just give you practically, I'll just try to show you how this works. After you divide the 600 by 500, what is left? 100, right?
Yes, 100.
100, right? Now, if we are stuck with 100, but even though we are stuck with 100, is this amount, does this amount need 100 rupees notes to be dispensed in this condition? No, right? We can dispense it using three 200 rupees notes, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Harish, are you following now?
Yeah, getting
For this,
somewhat. Like I'm just like dry running those examples that you have written, like 800, 900, based
no,
on the
no, right,
statement that you
right,
just.
right now you don't go there. Just try to follow what I am saying. Okay, if you're doing
Yeah,
two things, then you might not be able to get both the things. Just be with me for a few minutes, okay?
sure.
Then you do whatever you feel like. See, for the 600 amount, especially for 600 rupees amount, after 500, if you divide it by 500, see, all these things are gone. These conditions are gone. These were the possible conditions using 500 and 200 rupees things, right? But these were not feasible for our condition here. Now we need to observe something. And based on our observation, what did we find? We found that the denominations which were greater than 500, if we divide them by 500, after dividing them by 500, either they are divisible by 100 or they are divisible by what? 200, right? Let's suppose, for example, this note, right? This note. You with me? This note, 600 rupees notes. If the 600 rupees notes after 500 is getting divided, it is getting divided by 100 also, right? Till here, you with me? Guys, you're doing on your own or what you're doing?
No, no, following you on. Can continue. Yeah.
Okay. Am I making it confused or like you're getting what you're saying? Like what should I do?
Yeah, getting like basically what you are trying to say is whenever we have any amount, so either it will be fully divisible by 200. Okay. Or like we have a property that we had two numbers, one is odd, one is even, then the result will be odd only, right? So that kind of
No,
like property, something like that you are using, like
no, no.
I
Odd
think
even
so.
is it's not like
Because
odd
what
even.
yeah,
See, in odd even because we use modulus by two, that's a different case. It's kind of like it. The basics because we're using modulus for this question because we have to see the remainder amount, right? So
yeah,
if you observe, see, you need to do it on your own to understand properly, but that's a different thing. See, but if you look properly, if you properly go through this, you will see for any amounts greater than 500, it should be divisible by 100. Only then those amounts which can be taken out using both 500 and 200 can be dispensed. Okay. Did you get this statement of what I said? For example, of this 600 rupees notes, this 700 rupees notes, this 800 rupees notes, this 900 rupees notes, whatever permutation combination we do, without the help of 100, we won't be able to make the code run for these scenarios. either something or the other will always get left. We have seen here, right? Something or the other will always get left. But if we involve 100, we will see all the permutation and combination of 500 and 200 clubbing together will be dispensed. Let's try to understand when the code runs, right? 600, this was not working for 600, right? This code was not working for 800, right? But now when I am using 100, 600, 800, both are working because now 100 has come into the picture. Okay. Now any amount, any amount that we want other than 100, 300, other than those two denomination, any amount that we want are a permutation, are a combination of 500 and 200, or merging of 200 rupees notes. Got it? You're getting that much? Harish?
Yeah, that's what I think I like try to summarize. Like if it is an even amount, definitely we will be able to dispense using 200 rupees only.
Ah, yes,
And yes,
yes.
if it is an odd, then we have to use the combination of both.
Yes, correct. But that combination is being made possible only using this 100, not the
Yeah,
200.
yeah,
200 is being used only for the denomination lesser than 500 rupees. Okay. For any denomination above 500, we will need the help of 100. And it's not like 100 is being dispensed. The code itself is like that, that we will need the help of 100. So you give some thought into it on your own also. You do a lot of dry runs with this. You practice a bit, practice something out of it, on this, on top of it, and then I believe you will get it because I have written these things are given here properly. If you research a bit, if you try to think a bit, you will get it. Okay.
yeah. Please share this
Any
code
question?
in our channel, like Discord channel,
Yeah, sure.
for
Anyway,
future
I'll be,
reference.
yes, absolutely. I'll be anyway giving this Google link, Google Colab link there.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like good question, brainstormer. So I think it will be helpful
Yes,
in the group
yes,
also. People will look at it and then like will get
absolutely.
some
Yeah,
doubts
that's why
about the code.
yes, yes. That's why I told you, right? That day itself. And now I'm feeling I should have taken this in that day itself because you were there. So I thought today more people will join. So yeah, it's fine still. This question itself is good. In the initial, first time I also struggled for to understand this, but this code runs in this fashion. Without 100, the merging of 500 and 200 will not work. Okay, it's not saying I need 100, but if you see all the possible solutions after 500 rupees is really possible using 500 and 200, right? You try to think of it, right? Any kind of
Yeah,
possible denomination it is possible either using only 500 or 200 or a club of 500 and 200. But with only using 500 and 200 in logic, it's not possible to come up with the solution for the code to run. That's why we see that if we divide the amount by both 500 and 100, after 500, because any number divisible by any number greater than any amount greater than 500, whatever is left, if I divide it by 100, anyway everything is divided by 100 after 500, right? Whatever is left. So if it is divided by 100, whatever is left, it is actually, practically, it is It is dischargeable. If it is dischargeable, what's the harm in using 100? In that thought, 100 has been used here. Okay. It's not like literally 100 rupees we are dispensing just for, it's not dispensing. It's just that 100 is being used just for us to solve this question, right? Got it? 700. Whatever the issues we had in other things, everything is being solved by this question. Everything is being solved by this one. Just the thing is 100. We cannot write if I had given if for any amount I had given if I had not given this else condition na, then it would have given for this also. It would have given denomination of discharging cash for this one also if I had not given this condition. So for lesser condition, 300 rupees and 100 rupees is not dischargeable, right? So we need to take care of those two conditions. Only in those two condition in 100, because we need to discharge 200 rupees and 400 rupees, right? Only for that we are using amount divisible by 200. That means amount should be completely divisible by 200 for for amount for less than 500. If that's the case, I am using this condition. But above that case, I will use the amount divisible by 100. If any amount greater than or equal to 500 is also divisible by 100, it will discharge. In literal sense, that's the meaning. It will discharge. Clear, guys? You are almost 70-80% clear. Remaining, you will get it. I know. This much you are clear?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell me the answer for this code. What's the answer? What's the output of this code?
It should print world as 5 is not greater than 10.
Yes, 5 is not greater than 10, so the else condition will run. So, tell me, looking at this, what do you feel?
It should print false.
Yes, 0 is false
Yeah.
because we learned the Boolean value of 0 is false, and any other than 0, everything is true. So, if x means what? If x true, if is always looking for true or false, it will it will internally change it into a Boolean factor. So zero's Boolean form is false. So if false, that means it will print false.
One doubt, like for an empty string, what it will print?
Yeah, we have this question
Oh,
here.
okay. I didn't saw that.
We that's great, and that is coming to your mind means that's great. Next, same thing. Anything other than, I did not use just one here because one might think, okay, only in 0 and 1 this thing might work, but no. That's why I use 13. So for 13, we will check, we will see, because it's other than 0, that means it will convert to 2. Sorry, it's converted to true. So if it's true, then print true. Okay. Now, it is a string, it's not an empty string. If it's not an empty string, it will convert into true, right? So it will print true. Now, if I had, tell me one thing, if I had given here false, and if I had given it true, does it matter?
Not really. You can print anything, right?
Yeah,
But
printing
depends
is
on
different.
your, yeah,
Yeah,
logic.
printing is different and evaluation is different, right?
Yeah.
Only this block will run because this is transforming into true, right? If it is true, then whatever you in the statement, whatever you can give, right, it will always run. It does not matter what is real. So true and false is something, it's just for us to understand. It's not like true will only print. It's a print statement. It's not like the ultimatum, right? Now, empty string means what? Nothing, right? Empty string is false. So it will not come here, it will come here. Now, if 1000, tell me, what do you say? Will this line run?
Yeah, it will run because 1000
Yeah,
will turn into true
it
values.
will because it's a non-zero or non-empty string.
Yes, it's a non-empty. It's not about non-empty string. It's not a string. It's a value other than zero. So if it is zero, it would not have it would not have printed anything. But it's because it's other than zero, it's converting to uh, true. So whatever is inside it, it will run. So if I make it zero, nothing is running, right? Because there is no else condition. Correct? So if I make it 1000 and if I run it, it runs. Correct? Let me make one code block of this one. Now, x is none. None means nothing in the memory, right? X points to nothing. Now, none, even though it evaluates to false, but if I print X now, it will only print none. It will not print false. Okay? Even though it evaluates to false, but it prints none. Okay? Because none means there is nothing in the memory, nothing, not directing, not pointing to anything in the memory block. Okay? Now, Elif block. So, Elif block is like when we have multiple conditions, instead of using this multiple else if at the end else block, it does not look good. So Python is saying, okay, I am making this feasible look more attractive to you. I will make elif condition. So it is saying in the if condition, you have something, you run this. In the elif condition, that means in that condition was not enough for you. You need another condition. In that condition, whatever you run that. In then at the end, after running 3, 4, 5, whatever amount of elif condition you need, at the end, if nothing is satisfying, then you at the end you give the else block. Okay. And indentation, you got it, I believe. I don't need to write the syntax again, right? In my notebook. It's enough, right? So the same question that you guys wrote here in the greetings problem, else if, else. So elif makes it look more elegant, right? It looks it more decent. Denomination question also. The denomination question, if you have noticed, we used else if. We used else if because we were in the else if statement segment. Now, because in the elif, we can use anything. We can use elif. If this, elif this, else this, right? Got it, guys? Till here, clear?
Yeah.
I will run this code once. I will give the time as 12. Good afternoon. I will give the dispensing amount as 600, discharging amount. Okay, guys. Now tell me, both of you, what should be the output of this row? How should the control flow work here? Tell me. You tell me, also you explain how and what you felt. What line should print? What where should the flow go? Where is the control flow moving?
In case of first if block, it will check whether the x value is less than 9. So it will compare with 10 to 9. So 10 isn't less than 9, so it won't print hello.
Hmm.
In the next
Okay.
if block, it will compare the x value with 9,
Hmm.
whether it is greater than or not. So x is greater than 9. 10
Oh,
is greater than 9, so it will print pi. It won't
hmm.
enter into elif block because already if block completed. If
Okay.
it doesn't, then it will go to elif block. Here it will print by, and
Yes.
then it will enter the third if block, which
Yes.
also
Hmm.
compare 3 to 10, as 10 is greater than 3, so it will print good.
Hmm.
So ultimate print will be by and good.
Okay. So, Harish, do you agree?
Yeah, I guess, just let me check if. So it will not print the first statement as 10 is greater.
Okay.
Afterwards, it will print by,
Okay.
and afterwards, it will print by again, and then good.
Okay.
That's my
That's
answer.
why. Okay. That's why I wanted your answer also. Why did you say it will print by again?
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused now after coding for so many years also.
No worries. It happens. No problem. See, the if, elif, and if else statements are such: if one block runs, na, the other blocks won't run. Okay. So even if you have 100 if elif blocks, if the 58th or 68th number of the elif block is running, the next 40 blocks of the elif won't run. It's done. It's finished. Okay. Whichever elif was running, if the first if was running, na, if the first if ran, then the next remaining 99 elif will not run. The code will not move forward. Got it? That much is clear.
Yeah,
Now clear.
now
Now,
clear.
now do you think buy again will run?
No, no, it will not.
Yes, it will not run, because once if is evaluated, no, this is true, na. See, it would have moved to this elif only if this was evaluated to false. This was not evaluated to false, right? This was evaluated to true. This was evaluated true. That means this ran and it came out and it ran into the if. So using multiple if blocks, you see the consequences, right? If we write multiple if blocks only starting with if, the program flow will the control flow will again enter in the if, again enter in the if, again enter in the if, right? Did you notice that the
Yes.
10 was getting evaluated in every if blocks, in every if blocks? But that's not the case if you don't use if multiple times. If you use elif, it will just move forward, forward, forward. Once you use the if in between, it will break that. It will again enter that if block. Okay. So that's what it was doing. It entered here. It printed this. It again entered here. It did not enter here. Then it again entered here. Okay. So the flow is like uh, oh, it did not enter here actually. It was false. So buy and good, right? It will be buy and good. So now, Harish, I believe it's clear for Sifitul. I believe, so you tell me what will be the output, how the control flow will go in this one. You explain.
Okay, so for the first if statement, it will be true as 5 is less than 9. It will print hello.
Yes.
It
Uh,
will not go to the else part. Then
Correct.
afterwards, 5 is not greater than 9, so it will not print by. It will
Mm-hmm.
move to Elif, and then 5 is greater than 4, so it will print by again.
Correct.
And after that, 5 is greater than 3, so it will print good now, and it
Uh-huh.
will not go to the Elif part.
Correct. So the output becomes hello, buy again, and good.
Good, yeah.
So if you're clear, right? No problem, right? You understood the control flow, right?
Yep.
Fine. Thanks. Great. Okay. Give me the output for this one. What will be the output for this one?
It's axis between 2 and 10 should be the output.
Hmm.
So first, it will enter the first if statement as 5 is greater than 2. So we'll go in that if block, and then we'll check another if that we have. And again,
Hmm.
5 is less than 10. So we'll print that statement axis between
Hmm.
2 and 10. And it will
Hmm.
not evaluate the else statement.
Yeah, it will not evaluate this else statement. It will
Outer
also
also,
not
yeah, and
evaluate.
inner
Yeah, this
both.
also it won't because this has entered here. This one is ignored, and because it has entered here, this one will be ignored, and whatever is there inside this one will be done. So the answer is x is between 2 and 10. Right? Great. Tell me this one.
You are not eligible to vote. Should be
Yes,
the,
you're not. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
output.
It did not even have the because the first stage itself it was true, right? The
Yeah.
age was yes. So no need. It's done. Correct. So you are not eligible to vote. All right, we're at the end. We somehow finished. I know the dispensing cash was a little bit on the complex side, but I believe that you will be able to get it once you spend some more time on it on your own. And I think you will get it. Thanks a lot, guys, for participating. It's till now. Thanks a lot. We'll meet in the next session. Next session will be a little bit more into the looping system, while loop, for loop, all those things, loopings. So yeah, let's meet next Friday, I think.
Thanks
How
for
was
the
it?
session, man.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
okay,
very good.
okay, doable.
So much of
Like
brainstorming on the weekend. And start
yeah,
of the weekend,
yeah.
I can.
Yes. Start of the weekend. So you have something to do in the weekend also, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I please try to write this code, especially this one, to understand the control flow. This one, and you try to modify something on your own also. Like you can add the night part also. Okay. Then you can add like it is either night or midnight, something like that you can make, and you can just do, and you can just post it in the uh, channel so that people can see that okay, we are doing something, the progress is on, right?
Yeah.
Right, they also have something to look into. Maybe that might attract them, like that might pull them, right? Okay, I'll be anyway uploading this. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot for your time, for your energy, uh, for your participation. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the session, man.
On the thread like DSA for developers. So do we should we expect something about that? We are learning DSA for developing things, or we are learning for DevOps thing.
Uh,
Can I take that
DSA,
if you
sure,
have?
sure.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah,
So I
please.
think, in the first place, the thinking is not like proper. Like we have to not look at DSA as a only developer kind of thing.
Listen,
Uh,
should I add something? I paused
yeah.
the recording for a few seconds. So
Yeah, sure.
let's try to summarize what Sifitul was asking. So he was asking what's the agenda, why we are doing this, right? So is it for
Yeah.
developers? Is it for DevOps people? And why, what we were trying to get with it, right? Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay, Haris, please continue.
So like we have to look at it as a something that will give us ability to think on feet. Like we have gone through the today's questions, and it just built the logic layer, right? From the first step, we are thinking about the problem and then converting it into a logic. So like that kind of thing, I think we are trying to build in people, and it will definitely help in cracking the interviews if you are going for a product based company as a DevOps engineer role or either as a developer role. You will find these questions in first 2 or 3 rounds based depending on the years of experience you are applying for. Like,
Yeah, got it.
So yes, Sifitul, so you asked a good question. So I answered this in the few initial classes also. I'll tell you again. In this one, I did not say in the beginning, so I will say it for the first time here. Any good product companies, right? Any good product companies, their first 1 or 2 rounds are DSA only. First 1 or 2 rounds, irrespective of what role you are applying for. If it's a good product company, however,
Mhm.
whatever knowledge, nothing, what they want, nothing is there. Directly DS around. Only if you go through DS around, then based on your skills on your experience, yeah, the other skills things are done. This I have got this information based on what I have heard from many experienced people from proper established organization and institutes. If anyone who is listening to this have other knowledge, please feel free to comment, feel free to guide us also that that's not the case and something else is also there. But what from to the extent that I have heard, and this is very, very important. Next is the problem solving thinking, right? The ability to approach a problem, it builds that. So when we do proper DSNR, you will see the questions, the type of questions are there. You will feel there are many questions that when we saw, those are Google level questions, they were asking, we will solve those questions. Once we see those and we feel like if we are in that spot and if we get those questions for the first time, we're gone. We cannot even solve those kind of questions. So once you practice more and more questions, more and more questions, once you solve more questions, that that thinking on the we don't need to solve it. It's not that we need to how we are approaching the question, how we are trying to solve that problem. That's the important thing and that we are trying to build. And for that, we need one programming language as a foundation. So we're going with Python. We are choosing Python. So first we will finish the main major basic concepts of Python, and then we'll move to the pure DSA. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. So how often, what is the time schedule you are trying to take these classes?
Yeah. So right now it's every Friday 10 p.m. to 11:30 or 12, but we will be increasing the frequency from the next to next week. So right now, next week I will take one class. Then the next week also I will take one class, and after that, from December, we will make it 2 classes a week from first or second week. Because otherwise we won't be able to finish the it's a very, very long, there are too many questions and there will be many questions which will consume a lot of time. So doing only one classes won't be enough. For right now we are doing Friday, but I will definitely increase. A few things are there, some commitments are there from my side for a few days ahead. So I will try if I can add a few more classes in this month also. If not, from December, sure.
Okay, that would be great for us.
Yes, yes, yes. I understand. This was also discussed in the last. session also Haris was there. So yeah, I am also thinking, and I will I'll send the entire this thing, the entire curriculum. I would not the curriculum, the classes, the schedule, the classes. What are the topics that we need to cover, right, for the Python? Once Python is done, I will share the schedule of DSA 1, then DSA 2, then DSA 3. So yeah. Okay, guys. Good night. Have a great weekend ahead. Please practice how much ever you can, 1 hour, 2 hour, and it will help a lot.
Sure. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Thanks again. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.